I might want to read that contract before... We're going on the hunt.
Earned your bread yet?
Eyes up here, sister!
Javad said the bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry. I should see if there's anything in the back of the valley. Dead bristleback by the falls. Now check it out. Looks like it died on impact. Maybe it charged off the cliff up there. I better keep following the trail up. An old mine. And a lot of broken trees. It's like a stampede went through. Is this where the bristlebacks came from? But how? Unless... this cave leads out of the Daunt. The old cart tracks collapsed. It looks recent. Guess I'm not going that way. There's smoke from deeper in the mine. An explosion? Bristlebacks. So they did come through here. They must have gotten trapped. I'm gonna have to take them out before I can look around.
Got a piece of it!
Okay. Better take a look at where the smoke's coming from. There's a lot of smoke. Looks like mine runs pretty far back. There's a lot of blaze down there. There's enough blaze here to blast a mountain open. And there's a note on one of the barrels. This note's addressed to Oldland. Looks like this mine was supposed to be shut down. Oldland must have gotten greedy. Kept blasting deeper into the mountain. I should let Javad know what I found.
Here I come.
So Oldland was secretly blasting in the mine, trying to squeeze it for all it's worth. Until Bristleback stampeded through. Maybe the explosions blew a way open? But from where?
Welcome, Outlander.
To the claim for the brewmaster.
Savior, what news do you bring?
Picked up the Bristleback Trail by the quarry. Looks like they stampeded out of a mine at the back of the valley.
The mine? How could a herd of bristlebacks come from there?
I'm not sure, but Ulvin's workers were using explosives to tap the tunnels inside.
For the love of Dawn, I told him it wasn't worth the risk. Those tunnels, they run for miles underground, even beyond the Daunt. No, you don't think.
That Ulvin's blasting opened up a passage from the other side?
Perhaps. Yes, perhaps. If this is true, we need confirmation. An inquiry. So thorough, so irrefutable, endorsed by the Savior.
All right, I'll keep looking. How does blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks help Ulvin get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust and bad ale. Claiming that the Karja loosed the Bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. Even with the valley working again, Ulvund hopes he can stir up enough resentment against the Karja to call for a strike.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvund blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvund's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape. Now, I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
I need to go.
Of course.
To the claim!
At the embassy, Regalla's rebels were riding Bristlebacks. If they attacked from the north, they might have a camp up that way.
Come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win it on my boards, too. All right, let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner? That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health. Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go. I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first. Since this is your first time, I'll let you go. Usually you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward. And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look. Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second. Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn. We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first. Now move the piece. When performing, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. A machine's combat power is a combination of the terrain your machine is standing on and its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power, this means your machine can do 2 points. Did you get all that? Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine. Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space. Try sprinting up to one of my machines. Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean. That's about it for your turn, then. Now, I'll let you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it. Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there, and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those, and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine. Now let that machine off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remain. You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine. But sometimes that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time. Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor. Now, you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players. Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage? This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack. Now let's take combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is, this means you're, go ahead and test it out. There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front. Since it's standing on grassland terrain, this terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat. My machine can't use their attack powers since they're defending, but they have the higher ground. They're standing on 4. This means my combat power at now. The front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what... See? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are two other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough. I promise it'll all come in handy next. Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the piece. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram type machine. Attack an enemy with it and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look, it even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so it's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game... Good luck! come up. Your move, Red. A single machine left? That ain't good. Okay, let's see. That's it for me. Now that was a smart move. Oh, I thought I had that one. Let's play. You're up, Red. Time to get serious. Your turn. My turn. Board's all yours. Whoa! Got me good. Time to make my move. One less piece on the board. You're up, Red. Okay, let's see. Not looking good for you, Red. Your move, Red. Gotta say, your odds aren't good, Red. Well, that's done now. I won! Oh, but I'll play you again if you want. This is gonna be fun. That's it for me. That was a surprise. Time to get serious. Oh, we can stop if you want. Here we go. Time to make my move. Board's all yours. My turn. Your turn. Ah, off the board it goes. I'm up. That was brutal. Your turn. Ah, off the board it goes. Time to make my move. You're up, Red. Just one piece left. My turn. Board's all yours. You got me. Fair and square. Let's do this. Your move, Red. Okay, let's see. That's it for me. Time to get serious. Knocked right off the board. Hey, I like that piece where it was. That was the perfect spot. That was brutal. Okay, let's see. That's it for me. Well, that's done now. Time to get serious. One less piece on the board. Off the board it goes. I was hoping you wouldn't do that. One less piece on the board. Guess luck's not on your side today, Red. Let's do this! My turn. Your turn. Oh, seriously? I'm up. Well, that's done now. Knocked right off the board. That was brutal. a hit. Time to make my move. Well, that's done now. Your move, Red. Off the board it goes. Time to get serious. Knocked right off the board. Oh, I won! Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh? This is gonna be fun. Board's all yours. Okay, let's see. You're up, Red. Not that easy to get through my machine's armor, is it? I'm up. One less piece on the board. Your turn. That was brutal. Off the board it goes. Time to make my move. You're up, Red. That was brutal. My turn. One less piece on the board. right off the board. You got me down to one piece. I am impressed. Okay, that's the game. You up for a rematch? Don't be a stranger.
This pub never closes. That's it. To the claims.
As hammer strikes steel.
Look, I ain't saying they ain't got good.
Talk about something else.
It's you. The machine hunter that bailed out the Karja.
Never heard it put that way before.
What do you want?
Heard you've been hassling refugees up by the cliffs.
Yeah, well, you heard wrong. There's salvage up there. A Stormbird. Nailed him myself with a harpoon here in town. Not an easy shot if I do say so myself. It clipped its wing. And it crashed into the old tower up there. Killed it quick. Yeah, so if anyone's hassling anyone, it's the Shadow Karja filth that's blocking the way up to my claim.
And you're ready to crack some skulls to get to it?
No need. It's a raggedy bunch. Probably all starved before I have to lift a finger.
We'll see about that.
Oh yeah, we will, won't we? Now shop's closed to Karja lovers. On your blasted way.
Still hammer your head out of your mind. That's it. Them Shadow Karja are taking a beating.
Those people are under attack. Hey! You up there! Aren't you gonna help?
Not my job. I'm just here to keep an eye on things for change.
Oh!
looking good, folks.
Get to safety! I'll handle the rest!
Go, Lakasha! I'll help the Nora!
It's fallen!
Always glad to see the savior of Meridian in action.
That ought to help.
That's the last of them.
Even if you kill these
Better check on the
machines,
refugees.
them Shadow Carja ain't gonna be safe. Just the show's over.
Lie still.
Is it bad, Lakasha?
Shh, now. Everything will be fine.
Is everyone okay?
Bruised, but not buried. Our order will live to see another day.
Are you sure about that?
We're no strangers to hardship, Nora. We've crossed half the Sundom with no more than the clothes on our backs. And as soon as our Sun Priest returns, our path will be clear. For now, we wait.
Well, you're better off waiting somewhere else. Your people need shelter. There's a town east of...
Chainscrape. Yes. We know of it. Savohar says it's not suitable for us.
Who?
Our Sun Priest. Our order has made it this far thanks to his guiding light.
Okay, and where is this Savohar?
He went up to the tower to meditate 3 days ago, and he won't come down until the sun shows him the way to our new home. The fallen Stormbird is an omen, he said. And of course, it must be.
I see. And how long do you plan on waiting for him?
Until he returns. He will return. He must.
You're Shadow Carja, aren't you?
We are the Order of Twilight.
The difference being...
When the usurper Avad killed his father, we fled with the Carja in shadow to Sunfall. Our lives there were difficult. Savohar saw our misery, lifted us up, protected us from the corrupt priests and heartless kestrels. When their rule ended, Savohar led us from the Shadowlands. The long night ends, and the setting sun will lead us to salvation, he said. And so he named us the Order of Twilight. We journeyed west in search of a better life.
Why didn't you go back to Meridian?
Avad is a patricide. We will not kneel to the likes of him. We must walk in twilight to our new home. Savohar will lead us there.
Uh-huh. There's an Oseram in Chainscrape, Tolland. He wants the Stormbird up there.
Yes. He was here just yesterday. A very unpleasant man, even by Oseram standards. He made all manner of threats. But we will not be intimidated.
That's all well and good, but he's got friends. Sooner or later, his whole gang will show up.
Savohar will come through. He always does. We just need to give him more time.
You're out of time, Lakasha. You need to consider packing up and...
We won't leave him. And we won't let others disrupt his meditation.
Well, they're going to try. Look at yourselves. Those machines nearly wiped you out. And Oseram thugs are watching you, just waiting to strike. You're in danger here. You need to grab Savohar and get out.
Our situation. This is the worst we've endured. I know we cannot stay here, but without Savohar to guide us, I don't...
Let me up there. And I'll convince him it's time to move on.
But his meditation... If he hasn't received his vision, he won't follow.
At least let me check on him. If he's been up there for days.
Yes. Yes, that is sensible, I suppose. Please, be careful. The trail up to the tower is falling apart. Savohar is strong, but it could not have been an easy climb.
It rarely is.
Let the Nora pass.
Stuff for the stash. Part of the ladder. Akasha was right. The trail's in bad shape. I think I can reach those beams if I jump against the cliff. You can get a strong color on this. Ladder must have broken off after Savohar passed through. I need to find another way up. Bridge. I might be able to make... Damn. I gotta get back up there. That's a lot of blood. Savohar? There's the Stormbird. Getting closer. Machines. Savohar must have snuck past them. I could probably slip past them and take them out. Oh, been spotted! That's all of them. That's always good to have extra. There's Savohar. In pretty bad...
The true sun above me, the true sun before me. Show me the way this eventide. The true sun above me,
You must be Savohar.
the true sun before me. Show me the way this eventide. No. No. The vessel must be empty for the coming vision.
You don't need a vision. You need medical attention. On the way up, I saw parts of the trail had given way. Is that how you hurt yourself?
My pain, all part of the ritual.
You're hurt bad. And your people are running out of time. Staring at the Stormbird isn't solving anything.
You don't understand the omen. It fell here at the beacon. I just need to see the twilight path. And my people will find their home.
Listen, Lakasha is doing the best she can down there, but machine attacks, angry Oseram. The Order is scared, Savohar.
The last rays of eventide will burn away their fear.
I don't think so. What do you think's gonna happen here? If you sit long enough, the sun will show you something?
A path to a new home. The fallen machine can only mean that the storm has passed. And salvation is at hand.
Or some Oseram shot it, and it hit an old tower. Your people are worried about you. They need shelter, security.
The true sun above me. The true sun before me. Show me the way this
I
eventide.
think you've been staring at your salvation this whole time.
The true sun above me.
Gotta get over to that Stormbird. Grab its heart. think it'll connect. Stormbird heart is valuable. Enough to feed all the refugees waiting below. And his answer is sunstroke and a prayer? Why does every priest I meet think blind faith is the answer to everything? The Osram that was watching the refugees probably went to get Tolland. I gotta get them out of here before he comes back. Looks like some kind of lens. There. The Order should be able to afford shelter with this heart. Some food and a change of clothes wouldn't hurt either. Savahar? How you holding up? I need to get back over there. Savar? I guess you did the best you could. Rest easy now. I'll make sure your people are safe. I should let Lakasha know. And give her the Stormbird heart.
Don't make this difficult. Get out of the way.
No.
There's Tolland with the slugs.
I'm a generous gent. So I'll give you one more chance to make it easy on yourselves and clear out.
We won't let you pass, Asaram. If you choose bloodshed, that's on your conscience.
Ain't it just like the Carja to make things harder than they have to be? Okay, boys. You heard her. Get your consciences ready.
Hold on now, Tolland.
You again? Listen, I'm all out of patience here. I clipped that Stormbird's wings. The salvage is mine. I don't care who gets in my way. Nora savages or Shadow Carja fleabags. I'm taking it.
You sure you want to do that, Tolland? You know who I am. What makes you think a single Oseram lunkhead can take me down?
I've got 4 guys.
Huh?
Ah, blast it. Okay. You win. Hey, I'm doing fine. I don't need that salvage anyhow. But these people... need all the help they can get. Come on, boys. Back to Chainscrape. I need a drink.
Aloy, again, we thank you.
You're welcome. Now take this heart. Use it to buy food, clothes, shelter for your people. Maybe even land to build a new home.
This is... Salvahar must make these decisions.
No, I'm sorry, Lakasha. Savahar isn't coming back. He's gone. I know it's hard, but your people need a leader now. Go to Chainscrape. Talk to the forge woman there, Petra. Give her the Stormbird heart. She'll look after you and your people until you can get back on your feet. Find your path.
I'll do my best, Aloy. What choice do I have? Here, please accept this. It is modest, but I hope it helps in some small way. To Chainscrape, then.
It's green like blaze, but hard and shiny. How many merchants are...
Triss! You're back! Aloy!
I'm working.
Didn't find what you were looking for, I guess? Did you find those shellwalkers, Aloy?
I might want to read that contract before going on the hunt. Some kind of outpost. With pens. Might be where Regal was keeping her machines. I need to find a way to get in there. I can scan the area to see what I'm up against. And tag any rebels, machines, and focus to keep track of them.
It's that Nora. She's close.
All you want.
I swear. I've been awake for too long. Who's that?
Okay, I'm in. I have to clear out this place before I can look around. Clever one.
Back. Don't try and fight the Outlander alone. Eyes open. Search for the Outlander.
Pens, not that many machines. Where'd they all go? Better check in that cave. drawbridge. Might be my way across. That's one half of the bridge. But how to drop the other side? Looks like there are a couple of weak points. Ropes attached to the bridge. There. Bridge is down. Bristleback. It looks like it fell into a tunnel. So the rebels were keeping bristlebacks here. The machines fell into the tunnel, which must have collapsed as they ran further in. What if Ulvin's explosives created the sinkhole? I should head back to Chainscrape to let Javad know. Looks like the rebels have a camp in addition to those machine pens. I should
Bring
see
her
what they're up
down!
to.
Over
I've got
here!
runners patrolling the area. Better be
Finish
careful.
her! Stop moving! Some support!
I bet I can climb that wall
Stop
there.
there!
And run into the camp.
Earn my mark!
Figure out what's going on here. I need to find whoever's in charge.
I will take put your head on a spike! Going for the kill. Death won't come swiftly for you!
I can keep going.
Try to dodge this!
No! No!
Too damn fast!
see what I can do with this. Got it. Prisoner. Oseram, I think. Hey, I'm here to help. Stay low and follow my lead.
You got it.
Let's see here.
This could be a diversion. We should go back to our post.
Stay sharp. You'd always have missed something.
they're planning an attack on Barren Light, it's gotta be stopped.
Greetings!
Better shake off this wet. I think one of these structures is a command center.
I
Turn the
won't back
tables.
down. Danger! Take her!
See what you were planning on doing with all that bodies.
Loyal Tanakh, hear me. I was told a soldier from this camp goaded one of the sons of Prometheus into an altercation. You would do well to remember that our allies are responsible for providing the machines that we shall ride to glory. The next fool who interferes with them will be eviscerated and left in the desert for carrion. There will be no second warning. Will that be sufficient?
Yeah, that should prevent your people from butting heads with mine. You have my thanks, Regala.
May our pact lead to victory.
So Regala's not working alone. These sons of Prometheus gave her the ability to override machines.